So hey guys, welcome back. Today is going to be my first video talking about wedding planning. So I know there's a good chunk of you who watch this channel who have been following my weekly vlogs for a while now and have followed my journey from, some of you even from when I lived in Colorado to Nebraska to Florida and now in Texas. And it's been a crazy ride over the past 8 years doing YouTube videos. And now here I am planning a wedding with Mike. But if you're new around here, hi, I'm Liz. I live in Texas with my fiance Mike and our 3 adorable dogs. And we got engaged, that's what this is for, back in November. So I'll link to our engagement video if you haven't seen it yet. So we are coming up on our 6-year anniversary in just a little over a month from now in August. So we've been together for a very long time. We did long distance for almost 3 years before I moved here. And now I've lived here for 3 years. So time flies. But when I did Vlogmas this past year, I always do a question hat where you guys send me questions and I pull questions from the hat. And a ton of them were about the wedding, and we'd only been engaged for about a month when those questions were pouring in. So we really did not have any sort of answers to give you at that point. We kind of had a broad idea of what we wanted out of our wedding, but we hadn't done any pre-wedding planning before the engagement. So I didn't have any answers to give. But now here we are. We've been engaged for over 6 months now. So we've done a little more work into the wedding planning, so I wanted to kind of go over what we've already planned, what I still have left to do, kind of the things that are up in the air, all that good stuff. So here is your wedding planning update. So for us, our first step was we knew we wanted to do a very small, intimate wedding. In fact, when we first started talking about getting married back in the day, we considered just eloping and then having a party afterwards, but ultimately we have come to this idea, which is essentially very similar in that we are having a very small wedding. So it won't just be the 2 of us. There will be other people there, but it's going to be very small. And then at some point after that, sometime in the future, we're going to throw a bigger party so we can invite more people to that portion, and that's just going to be a fun time. It's still going to be small in comparison to some weddings, even that party, because we both have very small families. For me, it's just my parents and myself at this point. My grandparents have all passed away. And pretty similar on Mike's side. It's his mom and dad, himself and his brother, and there's some other family members, just like I have some other family members, but as far as immediate family, we both have very small family units. So that helps on having a smaller wedding. That is what we've decided to go with, a very small ceremony wedding thing. We have not really worked on the party portion of it yet. We kind of have in mind what we want to do for that, but we haven't really done work on that yet because we were focusing on the wedding. And the reason why we want it to be so small is we want it to be intimate. We want it to be more about the actual marriage and getting married rather than a huge spectacle. And we're not really party animals. We're more small group social animals. Is that a thing? And so comfort wise, we know we'll be more comfortable around our immediate families and our closest friends rather than having a large group that we feel we have to interact with all at once, because that can be a lot of pressure for introverts, and we're both introverts. We're social introverts, but we're both introverts. So for us, that's an ideal setting, is to be able to still focus on each other and that experience and save those memories without feeling the pressure of having so many people there. And I hate being the center of attention. As much as I love making these videos, and it would seem like I like being the center of attention because I have a whole channel that's mine, pretty much, and I film myself all the time, I actually hate being the center of attention. I start blushing, I get nervous, if I can fade into the background as much as possible, that is how I like to do things. So the idea of being up in front of a ton of people doing vows or anything like that is not for me. Whereas with immediate family and closest friends, I feel comfortable with all those people. I will be able to stay in the moment and enjoy what's happening without feeling stage fright, essentially. So with that, since we have such a small party that's coming to the wedding, we decided we wanted to do a destination wedding. Partially that's because neither one of us have a huge connection to Texas. We live here. Mike's coming up on 10 years of living here, but that's not necessarily because we connect and love Texas. It's just a really convenient place to live. The weather's sometimes nice when there's not hurricanes or flooding. And it's very affordable to live here, and that's the main selling point for it, is that it's very affordable to live in Texas and Houston. Neither one of us are connected to the scenery or grew up here or anything like that, so we knew we didn't want to get married in Texas. And as much as I love Florida, I don't want to get married in Florida because, again, the weather is super unpredictable there, and you're very limited on the wedding dates you can pick because of the weather. Again, there's such a short period of time where the weather is consistently nice there, and I am definitely an outdoor wedding person, so we're not getting married in Florida either. So I'm not going to share the state that we're getting married in quite yet. However, you will get a sneak peek of where that's going to be before the wedding. And that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to be mysterious. So it is not Texas and it is not Florida, but we're getting married in a different state other than those two. So we were still open as far as states. We had probably a list of 5 or 6 different states that we were looking into. And we were looking at VRBO and Airbnb and all different websites looking for houses to rent, because with such a small group, it seemed perfect, very similar to Brittany and Jordan's wedding, where we would rent a house, everyone gets to stay at the house, and it's like a whole weekend long celebration. So that's what we're doing. We eventually found a house that we loved, and we are renting that house for the period of time for the wedding. And that is going to be our venue, reception space, everything. We're gonna be there and enjoy the house, the state it's in, and lots of quality time with those people who are closest with us. So very excited about that. And because we booked our venue, we have our date set. Again, I'm not gonna share that for a while, but we do have our date set. And I've said in previous videos, it is in 2020. I'm just not telling you when yet, but it is in 2020. So once we had the venue and the date, my next task was finding a photographer, because I know that venues and photographers book up the fastest of anything. And for me, the most investment I wanted to put into the wedding was into the venue and the photographer, because the venue is going to be where all the memories are made. The photographer is going to be the one that saves and captures all those memories that you can keep forever. As someone who has dabbled in photography, and specifically wedding photography, I have shot weddings in the past. I have a very particular eye for what I like in photography, and so it did not take me long to find my photographer. I liked her style. She was actually suggested by our venue, as someone who has shot weddings there before and is familiar with the location. And so she and I had a phone conversation and we just clicked, and I liked her personality a lot. I liked her social media. She looked like she was very fun to be around. She has a lot of boomerangs on her Instagram, which is fun for me because I like a photographer who is able to just kind of become one of the group, have fun with you, but it also captures all little details, because I'm very much a detail person, and she captured every single little thing of the wedding she shot. And I'm hoping that because she's kind of goofy and silly, that she will help Mike with the photography side of things, because as you guys know, my sweet fiance is very camera shy, hates the camera. I torture him daily by filming him for the weekly vlogs, and he hates having his picture taken. So the engagement pictures and the wedding photo sessions are not going to be his favorite thing ever. And I wanted a photographer who had a really good personality, who could hopefully make him laugh and enjoy it and have some fun with us, because we're not a very super serious couple. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We're not like super romantic lovey-dovey people. We're more silly, goofy, fun people, and I wanted that represented in the pictures. So hopefully it all turns out. Those are the things I have set in stone so far: the photographer, the venue, and the date. Everything else is still kind of floating, but in recent weeks I've started really diving into contacting other vendors. So I am 99% sure I know who our floral person is going to be. I just need to write her back and give her a deposit. So pretty excited for that. Found some affordable flowers. Again, small wedding party, not going too elaborate with the flowers. So was able to find a pretty good deal on that, I think, compared to some of the other ones. Oh my goodness. I got one the other day that the minimum was $4,000. $4,000 for flowers. And I know there's people out there that pay it. I know you do, and I'm not trying to judge you if you do, but $4,000 is a lot of money for flowers. So I found an affordable florist lady who actually grows her own flowers. Everything is done in-house, so I'm pretty excited to work with her. Still working on hair and makeup. I have, I think, 3 different vendors that I'm emailing back and forth with now, and I want to get on the phone and talk to them because I think with the photographer, the phone really helped. And that's another thing where I want to make sure I jive with people because I need them to understand. I want very natural, boho romantic. That's what I'm going for, boho romantic, and I don't want to look like I have an inch of foundation on my face in these pictures, and I don't want to look like a stranger. And I want to keep my freckles. That's a struggle when people do my makeup. I want to make sure I still have my freckles. So having phone conversation, I think, helps understand the jive that they have. So I'm working with 2 of them to get on phone calls. I've already had a phone conversation with one of them and 2 more to go, and maybe I'll actually have a makeup and hair stylist. Cross my fingers because I really don't want the pressure of doing it myself. So also on my list that I've started reaching out but haven't really gotten too far on would be catering and cakes. And I say cakes because I think we're doing cupcakes. I think I found the bakery to do the cupcakes, but when I emailed him, he was not ready to be booking things in 2020 yet. So he's gonna email me once he opens up his 2020 books, but excited for potentially some cupcakes at our wedding. And then catering, I have reached out to a few different places and I'm trying to get some numbers back and some menus back and decide what we're gonna do for the catering. Again, very small wedding. We're going for boho romantic. We're not going super fancy. So I'm hoping I can keep catering costs pretty minimal, and I'm not opposed to just ordering pizza. Time will tell. Pretty much everything else is going to be DIY, I think. I'm going to do some decor myself, but again, not going to go crazy with it. I have some little special things that I'm going to add into it that's going to be DIY, and I'll share that when I get to that stage. I have a few other little tricks up my sleeve that I think I'll save for my next wedding video because they have not been 100% locked in yet. The exciting thing is that by the time you're watching this, I will have gone dress shopping for the first time because I leave for Florida for a bestie weekend and Brittany and I are going dress shopping. So technically when you see this video, I will have already gone because for you guys, we went yesterday. So I am excited to try on dresses, and I will share whatever dresses I don't end up picking in a future video, probably one of these, and snippets in the weekly vlog, but probably in another one of these I will share the dresses that don't make the cut, and we'll see if I find my dress this week. Maybe I already have my dress when you're watching this. Woo! So that is where we are at for wedding planning. Like I said, a lot of details still to be planned out. Working out details with florists, working out details with caterers, working out details with bakery, and we need to buy wedding rings, and we need to figure out Mike's attire, and figure out what we want to do for our ceremony, and all that kind of stuff. There's still a lot to do, but also we don't want to get too swept up in all of that stuff and ignore what we want out of the weekend, which is just an amazing multi-day experience with our favorite people. And that is an amazing multi-day experience with our family and closest friends that we'll hopefully remember for all of time. So I'm not getting too swept up in all the little details of the wedding, and I don't expect that I will. I think I'm gonna be very chill bride. Again, boho romantic. We're going boho. and I think that's just part of my personality. Again, don't like being the center of attention, so I don't really want to do a huge thing anyway. And just having a little simple ceremony with Mike is what matters, and having a time with family and friends is what really matters to me. So I am super excited for it. It is going to be still beautiful. There's going to be beautiful pictures guaranteed. And I expect a lot of awesome memories to be made during that time. So I think that's gonna wrap up this first wedding planning video. There will be more in the future as more happens. And I will see you guys again next week with the start of our Disney portion of the Florida trip from May. So that's it for today, but I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.